All right, welcome back to our monthly market update where we take a look at what is going on at the Ottawa real estate market. First, we're going to take a look at the snapshot, which is what you see from everybody, looking at December of 2025 versus December of 2024. And then we're going to look at what's really going on month to month, take a look at the trends so that we can predict what is going to happen in the next couple months. So, first off, let's take a look here. Average price of a home went down 0.7%, so pretty much stayed the exact same between December of 25 and 24. We're sitting at $658,000, almost $659,000 for the average price of a home right now. The sold to list price went down almost 1% to 97%. So basically, homes are selling for about 97% of their asking price. And the units sold, it went down 4.24%. We saw 587 homes sell in December of 2025. And the days on market went up almost 12%, 11.76 to 38 days on market. Now, again, that number I believe is a little bit skewed because we see a lot of homes cancel and relist, which resets the days on market. So without having the data to really back it up, my best guess would say average days on market probably in the 45 to 50 day range. All right, looking up next, we are going to see the total inventory. So the total inventory is 2,544 homes for sale. So that's up 28.5% from December of the previous year. There's a lot more homes than we're used to seeing in the last couple of years in the market, but typically overall, still a lower inventory. The months of inventory is up 34.38%, so almost 35%. To about 4.3 months of inventory. So that's actually sitting at a more balanced market where it's been a seller's market since the COVID times, right? So at 4.3 months is a little bit more typical, and we're seeing the market balance out. And new listings is up 10.7%. So inventory is already up and new listings is up. So that makes us look like inventory is going up. However, we will see that the inventory for January will be significantly less. Why would that be? If, let's take a look at the units sold again. Sorry. The unit sold was down and the inventory is up and the new listings up. So why would I say that we're going to see the inventory decrease by month? Well, because December 31st is the biggest day that we see for cancel and expiries. So as soon as we hit January 1st, we saw a lot less homes on the market. Again, if we look at this number for January, we will see the inventory is up from January 25 to January 24, but we're going to see the inventory between December and January has actually gone down. So again, when we look at those snapshots and we're comparing year over year, it doesn't really tell the full picture. Because if you remember, we saw the average price stayed about the same. But this graph is going to show us the average price by month. And you can see that when we actually look at what happened from December of 24 to December of 25, well, the average price ended up almost the same. It went up significantly and then down significantly with similar trends that we're going to see every year. So that is the one big thing that I really like to show here when we're looking at the month by month. The year by year doesn't really tell the full story. And you want to know what is going on. When is the right time to buy? When is the right time to sell? If you're looking at just the December 24 versus December 25, it's going to make it seem like it didn't really matter. Things didn't change that whole year. But taking a look at this, we can see that things significantly changed month by month. So here we're looking at actually the median price, not the average price. But we can switch that as well. So there we go, looking at the average price. Okay. And so if we look at the last 13 months, that will show us that trend. But then if we back it up 5 years, you're going to see, again, very similar trend. Anyone who's watched one of these videos before is quite used to this. We see the average price jump up from January to the spring, fall down in the summer, and then have a kickback in the spring. 2022, outlier year, interest rates were going up, but we still saw a kick up from August to September. And then 23, again, dropped in August, jumped up September. This year, dropped August, jumped up September. 24 did that, and then as well, 25. 25, we actually saw the jump up from September to October. So year over year, you can see we're seeing very similar trends on the average price of homes, and you'll see a very similar trend on the units sold. Okay, so most homes selling pretty much in May of every year. Here, we saw interest rates starting to rise, so we did see the sales start to come down here. So again, why am I looking at this? Because we're looking at what we're expecting to see. Okay, so we typically see January, more homes sell than the month before, and then up for the next few months. So what does that mean for you? Well, it depends. Are you looking to buy, or are you looking to sell, or are you looking to do both? Right? And the do both one is probably the trickiest one because it is about timing it, right? The thing is, whether you buy or sell in a high market or a low market, it's going to even out because say if you sell in a low market, what you're going to take less for the sale, you're going to end up saving on the buy, and vice versa, the opposite in a higher market, right? The only time you're really going to get in trouble is if you buy in a higher market and sell in a lower market, and vice versa, right? And so that would be my caution to anyone who's looking at making a move this year, is making sure that you plan it right to equal it, right? And the thing is, when we're looking at buying and selling, there's going to be what's most important to you, right? So are you the type of person that is only going to move if you find that perfect property? Like, are you happy in your home right now, but if you find that perfect house, you're looking to move into it? Well, then you'd have to strategize to have your home ready and take a look at finding that perfect property and then being able to transition, know what your home's going to sell for in order to make that purchase, right? And we can get into different things like that if you message me directly. But more so, you want to look at, okay, do I need to know where I'm going to move first? Or are you the type of person who says, okay, I'm only going to move if I know how much I'm going to net for myself from the sale of the home so that I know my budget on the buy, right? And so that's the question you got to ask yourself first, and then we can build a strategy from there. Again, your personal scenario, if you want to send me a message, I'm happy to help out. But let's take a look now at when is the ideal time to sell a property? Well, you might look at this and you might say the time is the spring, right? But there's a couple things that factor in this, right? So if you see that the price is peaking in May and June, or April and June, May, June to July, so you might look at that and say, okay, well, that's what I'm going to list. But again, if we look at the average home price, the average sale happening in about 45 days, if you wait too long, you can potentially miss the market, right? And you can see that the market goes up quite quickly and then can often come down quite quickly. So when is the ideal time to list? Well, the ideal time to list is when buyer activity is strong and the competition is low. And a lot of times right now can be the time, right? If you're looking at the market right now and you're seeing homes like yours on the market, then now is not the time. You do want to wait it out and wait for more buyers to be out here looking at homes, which happens in the springtime. But if you're looking around right now and there's nothing like your home on the market, getting ready sooner than later is often the better play, right? Because there is still buyers out there. And right now, if you're able to hit the market without the competition, then you're going to attract all the buyers' eyes and get the most demand. Whereas if you wait till the opportune time, say in the spring market, and a week before you list 10 other homes like yours list, then you are going to be in trouble. All right. When I'm talking about this, I'm talking about homes where you do have direct comparables, and you are dealing with a market that can skew significantly. Like, we see suburbs affected by this most, and sometimes you'll see homes sell for good prices in the winter, and then by the time spring comes, there's so many homes that hit the market, floods the market, and that particular area gets the tank. If your home is a very unique home, then I would recommend that you wait until the spring. If you're not really worried about competition, regardless of when you want to list, then yeah, you want to be listing in the spring. Now, when is the right time to buy? Again, that's a question you want to ask yourself, because what is the ultimate goal for you, right? Are you looking for a very unique home that you're very particular and very specific and what you're looking at? Well, if that's what the case, then you're going to want to wait for the spring, summer, when you see the most homes available, right? This is going to give you the highest opportunity to find what you're looking for. The caveat is, obviously, if that home pops up today, you want to be looking and paying attention to it. But ultimately, you don't need to be settling for something that you're not happy with if there's something that you're really looking for in a home that's hard to find. Keep in mind, though, when you do find that home, if you find it in the spring market, you're likely going to pay more for it than a similar home without that aspect today. But if you're a first-time home buyer, if you're an investor, if you're someone who is maybe looking for a fixer-upper too, if you're someone who's looking for the best deal, someone who can create value, potentially make some money from the home, or ultimately just get the best savings that they can and take advantage of the best deal, it is circumstance sale. And so you do have homes that are on the market right now. A lot of them, if they have been sitting and they have not sold, right? The majority of homes that are on the market didn't just list; they have been sitting for a while, and so there is going to be sellers that are going to need to sell, and they are going to have to take the offer that comes to them. So if you're looking for that deal, like now is the opportune time, right? Because again, if we look at it here, we're looking at the average price of homes sold. You can just see every single year there is a massive jump, right, between January and May. Look at last year, 604 to 659. Year before, 582 to 632. 572, 636. You guys get the point, right? The overall price of homes is going to jump significantly in the next 3 months. So if you've been sitting on the fence for a while looking for the right time to buy, it is now, right? And the thing is, I see this every year. Right now, you see the market slower and prices starting to drop, and buyers believe, okay, well, it's getting worse right now. It's only going to continue to get worse. But in fact, take a look every single year. You got to understand that right here, we're dealing with interest rates. Right here, the interest rates were at their highest, right? 2023, they were still rising. And we still saw the price go from December in 2022 from 560 all the way to 637 while the interest rates were at their highest, right? Right now, the interest rates are currently at the lowest we've seen since 2022, right? So the main factor right now that we're battling here in Ottawa and the rest of the Canadian economy is the fear of job losses and the unemployment being particularly high. And so that is definitely a concern when you're looking at, is it the right time to buy for you? Like, how secure are you in your job? And that would be a major thing. But if you're looking at strictly affordability, right now you have the lowest interest rates we've seen in years, and you're also seeing the lowest price point that we're going to see for the next 12 months. So if you're a buyer looking to get in at the right time, looking to make some money, now is the opportunity. A lot of these videos, they're going to say a lot of the same things because we're following the same trends, right? Anyone who's been watching this for a while knows that. But please, if you're seeing this video, please send me a message or comment. Let me know what is it you'd like me to dive deep on and give you a little bit different perspective than what you're seeing these videos. But for those of you watching these videos, maybe for the first time, I hope you get a clearer understanding of exactly what happens in the auto real estate market month by month. When people say one aspect of the market, when they're looking at the year over year, they are missing the big picture and really want to pay attention to what is going on and what can we expect in the coming months. So that's my prediction for the coming months. We will see the average price of a home in the city increase for the next 3 months consecutively. All right. Happy New Year, everybody. Thanks for watching. Look forward to seeing you next week.